What is up, ninjas? How's it going? How's everybody doing here on Twitch TV? How's everybody doing? Good to have everybody here so far. We just started up the stream. We're going to be getting going pretty soon here. Now, this is something a little bit different that I'm doing today. I mean, we've talked about news before in the stream. However, I run this series on my YouTube channel called Let's Talk Diablo, and we are actually up to episode 10, and the whole series is pretty much based on coming up, like talking about discussions about things that are going on in the game, whether it's news or whether it's things we'd like to see in the game, or whether it's something like just kind of start a discussion. And we usually do that in the comment section below on my YouTube channel, but today, because it is the 10th episode of Let's Talk Diablo, I thought I'd do something special and do a live recording of it. So not only are you guys going to be in the chat actually commenting as we're talking about this newsy type stuff, but I'll also be taking some of your questions and some of your comments about all of this. So we're going to get started in just a second here. I want to go ahead and actually close out of some programs and stuff. I need to log off of Diablo here. There we go. And we'll get started on here. Now, today is also an extra special news segment for Diablo 3, Let's Talk Diablo, because we have some interesting stuff. We have some information that has been given to us today from the official Blizzard Diablo 3, which kind of blew my mind on this. But we're going to get all into that. We're going to talk about patch 2.2.0 and the first look into that. We're going to go through, we're going to read through some of the updates, we're going to read through some of the stuff, we're going to give my thoughts about it, going to give your thoughts about it, and then we're going to talk about the next thing, which is this right here. And this is the 2.2 features and data mining information here. Something that is really stirring a lot of trouble, I guess, and a lot of controversy, a lot of drama with the EU bros, the EU people. So, you know, there's a lot of stuff to talk about here, and we also have some Diablo fans giving their spin on it as well. But we got a lot of stuff to cover here during this whole thing. And then once this is all done, I will take down the stream for about 5-10 minutes, let the video kind of reconfigure and everything's all good, and I will post, and then I'll go back live and we'll do actual gameplay, and we'll do an actual regular stream like we always do. But then later on, after the stream's done tonight, I will import this up to YouTube. It should probably be about 1 hour or so for this entire thing. So it's going to be a long thing. It's not really going to be an edited thing. It's just going to be like a long segment, just kind of doing a special, like maybe 1 hour long thing or something like that. But there's a lot of stuff to get into, so we should probably get into it. I want to say what's up to everybody in the stream here so far. Good to have you out here. We just started the stream. We're getting people coming in. Now remember, during this stream, if you guys want to look at this information yourself, you can do !D3 news, and you'll get all this information that you need. That's if Nightbot is actually in here. It is actually in here. There we go. So you have the first look for Diablo 3, the first link, and the second one is the features and data mining stuff. So you can click those and you can actually look over exactly what we're looking over right now, or you can just look at it on the screen. I do have it kind of magnified and like picked up bigger for you so you can see it a little bit better. Yeah, let's go ahead and get into all this stuff. We're going to start off with what was released just the other day. It was released on the 19th, and today is the 20th. So this was released yesterday, and then we had some more stuff released today. So let's go ahead and talk about this first. So this is the first look, patch 2.2.0. And you can see our table of contents here. We're not really going to worry about that. We're just going to kind of go through as we go through. So right here we have new and improved sets. Now this is something that they've talked about for a while now. We heard about this at BlizzCon. They kind of pushed back. They kind of like wanted to rework stuff and try to get the sets correct and everything. And you can see a preview of these sets here. So one of our main goals this patch is to introduce more sets that can compete with the most powerful ones currently in the game. To that end, we're debuting 3 new 6-piece sets in 2.2.0. Unhallowed Essence, Wrath of the Waste, and Del Serra's Magnum Opus. Such a weird freaking name for that one. You'll be able to take these into a spin on the PTR, literally into a spin, because Wrath of the Waste is like a whirlwind barb thing. So yeah, so this is it pretty much right here. This is the Demon Hunter one. That actually looks pretty cool. What do you guys think about that? Like, that actually looks pretty sick. Like, that's something I would definitely want to sport. What do you guys think about that? That is something pretty cool looking. And then we have the Whirlwind Barb one. I'm going to be really interested to see what they do with the Whirlwind Barb and make it, you know, like Raidcore has a hard time with single target. I really don't want to see Whirlwind Barb have a hard time with single target too, because it's just like every spec would just have a hard time with single target for like the Barb. So beautiful, gorgeous, wicked sick. I know it looks fantastic. It looks nice, man. Like, it's finally, like, this actually looks like a set you would see like in World of Warcraft, like a tier set, right? Like a rating tier set. It actually kind of looks like that, so that's pretty cool, man. Hopefully they live up to it. Now here we have a half-naked wizard. I mean, it does look pretty cool, I guess, but they kind of forgot the chest piece. But hey, let's. Most of the people in the stream right now are guys, and we're probably not hating on that. However, it is pretty interesting. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. All right. So those are the three new sets we're talking about. In addition, though, we're redesigning and in some cases adding bonuses to the existing sets. Zunima's Haunt, we have the Thousand Storms, Roland's, Tal Rasha, Ina's, Natalia's, and Immortal Kings. Now, I've been saying this for a long time that they needed to do this, and they finally are, which is great. Now, the Zunima set, I really hope that they're adding a shoulder or pants. That would be fantastic, because you feel like it's really hard to actually combine the sets together, like do like a multiple thing, like add it into like a pet build variation, because if you use the Zunima's helm, well, now you can't use, you know, the pet helm, you know, the Mask of Jerem. So, like, those kind of situations, you know, really suck for trying to fit Zunimas in somewhere. But, you know, whether they add like a special 6-piece bonus, and then, you know, we can give us some options there, so hopefully that'll be really cool. But I do really feel like the pet stuff is going to get better. We may actually see some more information down here, which we'll talk about. So that stuff's going to be revamped, and it's pretty interesting. So what they're going to be doing also is new legendary item powers. Sets aren't the only new items that you'll see in 2.2.0. We're also adding 15 new legendary powers in the form of legendary gems, armor, rings, and more. So you can see a couple examples here. We have the Seismic Treads. Now, these ones here, Ground Stomp causes an avalanche, which is kind of interesting. I don't know, maybe something will happen there. Maybe it will help out, like you'll maybe wear those boots with like the Raidcore set or something. Use Ground Stomp to kind of help out with some AoE single target damage, so you're Raidcoring into everything. You Ground Stomp, pull everything in, and avalanche comes down. Maybe that's something you can add into the Raidcore, or maybe it'll be something that'll be with Whirlwind. Without testing, we don't really know how viable something like this would be. They did kind of put the Whirlwind damage on there. Maybe as a little hint, it'll be like something viable for Whirlwind. I don't know. Or maybe just a coincidence, but either way. And then we have here the Gauntlets of the Rain. These ones here, Rain of Vengeance deals 84% increased damage. Now, you guys know there is actual like a Rain of Vengeance set. So maybe we'll see some kind of Rain of Vengeance things happening. I remember back in the day, Rain of Vengeance was one of the most powerful things for the Demon Hunter for that AoE quick burst damage. So maybe we're seeing a comeback on that. Maybe it's going to be a thing in these higher Greater Rift tiers. So we'll see. We'll see about that. But yeah. Then we have around here. Alright, so now we're moving on to the next section. There's going to be a lot of items. They're still going to be talking about that stuff in the future, on what kind of stuff we'll get. Now, Adventure Mode is going to be getting some updates here. Hey, I did notice that too, by the way. You're right. It rolled strength on the Rain of Vengeance gloves, so... Anyway. So right here it says, if you've been playing a lot of Nephilim or Greater Rifts, you may feel like you've seen them all. Starting in patch 2.2, however, you'll begin seeing some new Rift tile sets based on Fields of Misery and Festering Woods from Act 1, Steaming Wings from Act 2, and Fields of Slaughter from Act 3. So they're just going to add in some more maps and randomization and stuff into the Rifts. So pretty interesting there. Nothing really crazy or spectacular or anything like that, but you know, it's something, and it gives us more stuff. So we're not always constantly getting that same level, right? Where it's just like you know that one level where it's just like it feels like you go into like a dead end every 2 seconds or whatever, and it's really skinny, and I can't remember what it's called, but you know, like maybe we'll get some more options out there. So now also here, this is the more interesting information. New bounties. If you're a fan of adventure mode, you'll be happy to hear that we'll be adding soon over 20 new bounties to discover in Act 2, 4, and 5. So they excluded Act 1 and 3, maybe because people like to do those a lot. We're also introducing a brand new type of bounty to the game called Exploration. As the name implies, these new bounties involve exploring an area and finding people who need to be rescued. So yeah, so hopefully this one here can't be like an exploitable thing where it's like, oh, you just have to explore an area and that's it. But they do say you have to like rescue someone, so it's probably pretty similar to, if you remember the one in Act 1 where you go and rescue that guy from the little like chamber thing he's in, and then like the big like hulking guy spawns or whatever. So it's probably something similar to that, but it's just going to give us some more options and other bounties. But I don't know, I personally feel like something has to be done with bounties. Like, yes, they definitely need to be updated, like Illidid just said. They definitely need some updates and some new additions, but I feel like bounties are kind of just something in your way of doing what you want to do, which people want to do rifts. So they're like, oh, I gotta go do bounties to get keystones. I don't want to do it, but I have to. You know, there's a certain point in the game where doing bounties just is like kind of a chore, and the same thing goes for doing trials. It's kind of like a chore. You just want to do the greater rifts. You don't want to have to deal with doing the trials. You don't want to have to deal with doing the bounties. So hopefully we'll see something in the future that kind of does something else instead of just adding on new bounties. That's kind of my thoughts about it, but what do you guys think? You guys can put it, you know, in the comments there. So yeah, looks don't really matter to me. It's all about the performance of the gear. That's very true. Like, we don't really know how the gear is going to perform yet, the new sets you were talking about there. So we'll see. We'll see. You know, we never know. So now we have here class updates. Unlike some of our previous patches, patch 2.2 will not have a large focus on the changes to class skills. While certain skills will be receiving updates, they will be relatively minor in scope, aimed more at fine-tuning current overall balance and providing synergy with some of the new legendary powers mentioned above. Some of these changes include directly buffing certain skills like Crusader's Punish and Witch Doctor's Fetish Sycophants. So Fetish Sycophants is going to be getting a buff. That is freaking awesome. It's already amazing. Like, I can't wait for it to get better, man. Oh my god, that's going to be awesome. Like, they're revamping the Zunimos set. You know, they're going to be buffing Fetish Sycophants. Like, the Pet Witch Doctor is going to be coming back in full form. Like, it is good right now, but compared to, like, you know, Monk, Demon Hunter, and Barb, no way, man. Like, it's good for groups. That's cool. Go with the Tiki, go with Carnival, whatever it is you're doing, but, you know, I can't wait, man. I feel like the pets are going to come back in full force, so should be pretty awesome. And then, right here, so yeah, anyways, Fetish Sycophants, as well as implementing some quality of life improvements, like adding an icon that shows a number of active sentries. So we have that for the Witch Doctor right now, but they're going to have the little sentry thing set up for them, which is kind of something we felt like was going to happen, which is pretty nice. And why did my donation not pop up? I have all that program stuff turned off for right now until the segment is over, and then I will shout out all that stuff when it's over. So we are, for those of you just tuning in right now, we're doing a live recording for Let's Talk Diablo number 10, and it's the 10th episode, so it's something special, so we're doing it live, and we're going through some of the news stuff that we're going to talk about here, and you guys can leave your comments in the chat there, which will be read by people on YouTube. This will be uploaded to YouTube later on. and also get to some of your questions as well. We're going to go through all of this stuff in the first news segment. I'm going to answer some of your questions, read some of your comments, and then we're going to jump into the next one, and which is the more one. Anyway, quality of life updates. So new goblins to chase. So they gave us 3 new goblins before. They gave us 4 new goblins before, and it was fun. So I guess they felt like you know, we needed to add some more goblins and everything, because they felt like maybe it was a success or something. So we have the gelatinous sire splits into into smaller goblins. So I guess it's like a bigger goblin that when you hit him, he breaks into a couple different ones or something like that, and maybe that's how it goes. And then we have the gilded baron. Helps satisfy your never-ending end for greed. So you have the gold one right here. So I guess this will be like the gold goblin. This one will be like one that kind of splits into multiple goblins. And then we have the final one here, which you can see. And this one here is the insufferable miscreant. Has friends to help him run interference. Be on the lookout. So I guess he has some kind of ads or something like that, but he drops more stuff. We don't really know exactly what we're gonna get, so we'll see. Now here we have new cosmetic window. Now new cosmetic window is gonna actually lay a little bit of background information into the next topic we're going to talk about, because what they are actually adding here is they're giving us a cosmetic window where you can keep track of your wings, your pets, your portraits, your peants, and your yeah, just all your stuff right there. So yeah, we have a little cosmetic window. Kind of makes you feel like, is there going to be some kind of microtransactions in the future or something, or what? I don't know, but we'll talk a little bit more about that a little bit later, but definitely interesting right now. Now there's something here that doesn't really matter to us, pretty much saying they're just updating their file system, so things will just run smoother, blah, 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 blah. It's probably stuff you guys don't care about. Then we have, well, these are all a few of the more noticeable adjustments we're making. Patch 2.2 will also include several additional fixes, quality of life enhancements, and other changes not listed. So there's definitely going to be a lot more stuff that they haven't covered here, and obviously people are commenting right away like, oh, give us like more blood shard radius, more blood shard cap or whatever. And yeah, so what do you guys think of the first segment here, the first look at patch 2.2, and do you guys have any questions or anything, and we'll get into a little bit of that, and then we'll move on to the next one, which I think you guys are really waiting for to talk about, because it's the drama-filled one. Do it the way that I do, farm 100 keys at a time. Yeah, you can do that, but it just, you know, like I said, it feels like a chore. It's something you got to do over and over and over again. Adding more bounties is going to make it more interesting, but at the same time, you know, you're always going to look for the fastest bounties to get because you're just looking for those keys. You don't really care about the actual bounty itself. So we'll see about that. We'll see. What Witch Doctor Master Race might finally outclass Jade? Hopefully. I mean, the pet Witch Doctor in Season 1 PTR actually was better than the Jade Witch Doctor. It was. However, they nerfed it to the ground, and then they started buffing and buffing and buffing and buffing, and then it just mainly became just good for group play, and on the high end anyways, and then, you know, with going like Tiki and things like that. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. But Fetish Cycle fans will have a 20% chance instead of a 10%, I think. I don't know, maybe a way to spawn them more often, or maybe have something else in there. Maybe it'd be like a small buff or whatever. But they are revamping the Zunimos set, so we don't know what they're going to do to the Zunimos set. You know, whenever Blizzard comes out with something new, it's usually pretty interesting. So, or pretty strong, but yeah. Guess I'm going to spend a lot of time on the PTR. Yeah, that's another thing about the PTR. Like, they're telling us this information right now. Now, we were told that patch 2.2 would not come out until Season 3. Season 3 will most likely be between 3, 4, 5 months long, probably between a 3 and 4 months long thing. If they're giving us a first look on this right now, and they're giving us this right now as well, that makes me feel like we're going to see a PTR very soon, because they even say that PTR will be soon. So if we got a PTR, let's say next week that comes up, and then the PTR lasts for like a month, and then boom, it's out. So we're looking like maybe a month from now or something like that, or even sooner, we'll see this stuff coming live, maybe? Who knows? So most likely it will happen to be in the middle of the season. So it kind of throws a little wrench into stuff, because people are really farming stuff right now. If they do come out with that in the middle of the season, I mean, I personally would like that, but what about the people, like, all your gear and stuff right now might be pretty obsolete, or you're just going to use that gear to get the other gear? I don't know, but I guess that's something that could be up for debate, but yeah. Don't need more unique goblins, just higher spawn rates on Bloodshard goblins. Yeah, Bloodshard goblins are definitely awesome for sure, yeah. With the way rumors are going, Shin, do you think that we'll have skin sets we can buy, like in PoE? Now, that's another thing we're probably going to talk about a little bit here in the next piece of news. Let's get into that right now. Alright, so this was posted today. It was posted 8 hours ago, and it is causing some kind of freaking Armageddon on the internet right now as far as Diablo 3 is concerned. This is interesting to say the least. So, let's go ahead and read through, and then we will talk about all this kind of stuff. So, development for patch 2.2 has been underway for some time, and we'll be launching the PTR shortly. See? So PTR will be launched shortly, and then we've got a great quality of life changes and new content coming in our next patch, and we'll have more details to share in the future. In the meantime, some features may start to show up in data mined information for patch 2.2.0. That will not apply to all regions. Specifically, the following features will not apply to the European region. Alright? A new currency called Platinum. Timed experience boosts. New cosmetic items including wings, non-combat pets, and character portraits. References to stash space and character slot expansions. And a new UI interface that references the above information. This is some pretty crazy shit, to say the least. Like, this is... And not only this, they're pretty much come out and straight saying that it will not apply to all regions. It will not apply to EU. So this is obviously pissing off the EU people like crazy, because they're like, wait, there's going to be more stuff in the game, and I got the PC version, and he's got the PC version, but I don't get it, and he does? Like, what the hell is that about? So people are pissed about this right now, and we don't know the full information yet, though. We don't know the full information, so let's talk a little bit more here. While the above features will not apply to this region, players will start to benefit from some quality of life perks tied to these additions, such as streamlined UI for selecting cosmetic benefits, and blah 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 blah. We recognize that many players have expressed an interest in microtransactions being added to Diablo 3. While we may explore this model in some regions, we have no immediate plans to implement such purchases anytime soon for the European region. So they just used the word purchases, right? They just used the word purchases. They just flat out said, this is microtransactions. I don't even know, like, who made this post? Like they just announced something huge in a small post on Diablo 3. I feel like someone that made this post, like, they kind of worded things incorrectly. Like, they gave out way too much information. I'm pretty sure they don't want us to know that there's going to be microtransactions and EU people are going to be excluded from that in the future. That's kind of just setting off some kind of shitstorm, right? So let's talk about this a little bit more. Alright, because obviously you can see people in the comments here are flipping out about this. Like, seriously, no EU, incoming Rage Storm 321. Yeah, so there's a whole bunch of stuff going on here. We do need to talk about this a little bit more, though, okay? Because this is important. Now, first off, it says a new currency called Platinum. So if you look at a game like League of Legends, they have riot points, right? So in Diablo 3, we have blood shards and we have gold for our currency. So Platinum would probably be something like some kind of, you know, points you can buy. So like platinum points or whatever. You buy certain kind of points and you can, you know, spend those in microtransactions within the game. You can get some kind of cosmetic stuff or some UI stuff or something like that. Now, the fact that they are not letting this happen in EU. They didn't say anything about North America. They didn't say anything about Asia. So we kind of have to assume that it is North America and Asia that would be getting something like this, right? So why not EU? Well, when they had the real money auction house before, when they had, you know, you guys remember they had the auction house, the real money auction house, there were problems with currency exchanges and things like that between the servers and between everything like that, right? You know, how money can exchange to a certain dollar amount and then people would buy stuff on a different server and people would buy stuff on that server, and it would kind of be like another form of currency that, you know, you're not allowed to do, you know, that's against the law, right? So that was part of the whole speculation and one of the reasons why real money auction house was actually closed to begin with. So maybe there was some kind of issue with the EU region with having the real money auction house be available. So now when they have this kind of microtransaction type setup in the game, maybe they're not letting it come to the EU right away and kind of test running it on Asia and possibly North America first, and then eventually going to the EU. So we'll see about that. We don't know everything yet, because I know people are freaking out about this, and rightfully so. You know, I read this post and my mouth was kind of like, what? Like, am I reading the correct information right now? I want to also take this a step further and even actually analyze this a little bit more, okay? So, you have, usually when something new is in the works, right? And there is data mined information. The data mined information, usually you can't, you know, believe 100%, right? So they say, okay, well, we had this data mined information that you might get this, and you might get that, and you might get this. So we go, okay, you can kind of believe it or not believe it, and it might be true and it might not be true. So what Blizzard has decided to do this time, instead of letting the data miners actually give us this information and us having to think that, oh, maybe this is true and maybe it's not, instead Blizzard has decided to go, there's going to be some data mine information and it's true. Like, instantly. That's what they're saying right here. They're saying that this information is true because they're talking about, you know, oh my god. So anyways, yeah, the fact that they're even talking about this just proves that this is going to be stuff that we have in the game. Now, I don't know if it's going to really piss off people or something like that, then maybe they just won't do it completely. This is how I feel about it, okay? This is my overall thoughts about this. So, first off, this was posted by somebody that I don't recognize his name. He's made 370 posts. He's a Blizzard Blue. I don't know, maybe someone's account got hacked or something and this got put up, but then this would have been taken down pretty quickly. So I think this has got to be a legitimate Blizzard person that has posted this, okay? So first thing I think is real information. The second thing is that you have PC and you have console. There are certain features on the PC that you can't get on console, and there are certain features on console that you can't get on the PC. However, on the PC you have 3 regions. You have North America, EU, and Asia. And if you're going to give one of those regions a special perk and special cool thing, then all of them need to get it because you purchased the same game. So this is ridiculous, the fact that EU would not be put into this category. Now, with that said, we did talk about earlier before that maybe if this is some kind of microtransaction thing, which by the word purchase and by the word currency, we're pretty much thinking that that is the case, that it is some kind of microtransaction thing. Even right here, microtransactions likely coming to Asia servers. If that is the case, right? If that is the case, then, you know, is it going to be like a trial version first, right? Is it going to be a trial version as far as like the it's going to be on EU, it's going to be on North America, it's going to be on Asia first, and then it's going to go, and then they're going to test it out, and then it's going to eventually be on EU as well, if everything works out. All right, so we have some comments here. Look at this post. Now it shoots the America. So now they're saying that America is not going to be involved in this too. Okay, so we actually have Nevilist here that has posted some more information on this. This was posted 23 hours ago. So this one was posted here, and it says that in the meantime, some features start up in here. Patch 2.2 will not be applied to all regions. Specifically, the following features will not apply in America. So now it is only looking like it's going to be just Asia for now, and unless there's some kind of Asia post or something that says that too, but it's literally the only region left, so we have to assume that it's going to be some kind of just going to be in Asia for a little while. They're going to try it out there. If it works out well and it's something they can give to the other two regions, then maybe that's what they're going to do. So maybe, I don't know, it could be eventually something like that. So I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, still some very interesting information. You can even see, yeah, not going to be in EU, not going to be in US. Going to have some kind of currency thing going on with the platinum. Going to have like a lot of stuff. So I really want to know what you guys think in the comments here. We're going to go ahead and read through some of your comments and some of your questions. And so Jay Wilf says, I really hope this is fake. I don't know. I mean, it's got posted by Nevilist, and it's got posted by this guy, and so yeah, it's interesting. So it could definitely be real, man. Could definitely be real. Yeah, well, the reason why I didn't know the North America one was the same is because when they made this post, it said it wouldn't apply to EU regions. They would also probably say North America region too in there, but they didn't. They actually had a separate post for it, which is a really weird format that they actually did that. However, yeah, so that's why I didn't know that it was both of them. But it is actually both of those two, and it looks like Asia is the only one that's going to be getting this right off the bat, so... Yeah, we're doing a live recording right now, guys, so I'm not reading the chat constantly. I'm doing a video, so I can't read the chat all the time. But we are reading the chat right now, so if you do have some kind of questions or comments or anything about this information, I know it's very crazy. I know some of you right now are just kind of like boiling up and you're like getting like super angry over the fact that like, you know, Blizzard is pretty much favoriting Asia over the rest of us, or they're doing something cool for somebody else and not for us. I can definitely understand that. However, we don't know though. We still need to get more information about this. So yeah, this is pretty crazy though. Some pretty big information for sure. The informations are very messy. I don't know if this is legit. I don't know. I mean, like, it was posted by some, you know, very notable people and even edited as well by her as well. So it's like everything seems to be lining up really well. It's the official Diablo 3 post. I mean, I don't know. I feel like it is, so... Shinobi, do you really want microtransactions on Diablo 3? Now, this is, for me personally, do I want to buy stuff in the game? No, pretty much not, especially gold. Like, I wouldn't buy gold in the game. However, do I think it would be good for the game? Yeah, I definitely think it would be good for the game. It would give more funding to the game. People would be able to get more stash space and get more things that they've been wanting to get for paying, like, maybe as long as they don't have to pay like a ridiculous amount, like for like $20 for a new stash space, you know, be like, screw you, right? Like, that'd be ridiculous. However, like, I'm probably not gonna like purchase any of that stuff myself if that is the case. But I do feel like it's good for the game. I feel like it's bringing more revenue to the game. It's something they don't really make revenue besides the selling copies of the game. So I think that microtransactions would be definitely a good thing in the game, as long as everybody can get it, as long as each region can get it, and it's fair for everybody. This isn't a difference between PC and console. This is all PC right here, and everybody should be able to be included on whatever, you know, stuff goes into PC. You purchase the PC version of the game, you should get all the features that come to the PC version of the game. So, you know, that's kind of the only thing that I have about that. You have to think, too, like, if they only do this kind of microtransactions in the Asia realm, How many people are going to leave North America and EU to go make characters on the Asia realm, play on a really shitty ping just so they can, you know, be included into everything that's being coming out? So that's another thing you can think of too. So, but I feel like Blizzard isn't really that type of company. They're not really that type of company to just totally take a shit on its gamers, right? Like, they care about their community. They really do. And so I can't see this being something that lasts for very long. Now, the reason why, like, I feel like it's just going to be like a trial thing for a little bit, and then it's going to get pushed into like and then it'll get pushed into something else later on, right? So like, it'll start off in Asia. They'll say, oh, it's working out really well. People seem to like it. We'll bring it over to North America and EU. There you go. So that could happen. And if it does, then cool. And it kind of feels like that would be the way. However, like, I really wish they would have went into some more details by just literally saying the following features will not apply to the Americas. The following features will not apply to EU. I mean, seriously, you need to put something else there. You can't just like take a huge shit on a region and say, you're not going to get this. Like, that's it. You can't do that. You have to put something else. Be like, the following features will not apply to this region at this time. You could say literally that, and then you would not piss off the entire internet for Diablo 3. Like, I don't know. I just feel like it was worded incorrectly. I felt like the way that they kind of presented this to us is the biggest problem that I have with this. However, you guys may be different, right? So, it's just, I don't know. It's my opinion on it, but, I mean, that's what it's all about, right? If they allow microtransactions, then Diablo 4 should be out in 2 to 3 years. They probably, in my opinion, they won't be doing any kind of Diablo 4. It's kind of getting a little bit off topic, but if they're going to do anything else, it's going to be for more expansions. If they are coming out with this microtransaction thing, they may be doing it to fund their project for the next expansion and for more expansions after that. Because they didn't sell as many copies of Reaper of Souls as they were hoping to, not near as many as they sold of Diablo 3, so... Let's move to Korea. Woo! Some more clarity on there would be appreciated, though. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Like, they really kind of didn't give us enough information. All they pretty much said is, oh, there might be some data mine information out there, but just so you know, it's true, but you're not getting it. Like, that's pretty much what they said here. That's it. And then they show us like all these cool things, you know? I don't know. Like, for me personally, like I said before, I'm not going to be, you know, super into the microtransactions or anything like that. However, like, I mean, I might just get it for like the stash space, or maybe like the wings that I didn't get like from the first one, like the original Diablo 3 wings that you got from the digital deluxe or whatever. Like, I might get some of those things, like if it's like $5 or something like that. But you know, if there's some kind of, you know, like timed experience boost and stuff, like some people might do that stuff. I don't know. That become like, when you have timed experience, that's more of like a pay-to-win type thing, you know. So I don't know. I wouldn't really deal with any of the microtransactions here, aside from maybe the more character slot thing for your stash or something like that. But that's for me. But that's not really the problem here. I think the problem is that you know, it not being available to America and EU, that's the problem. And the way that they kind of presented this information, that's also the problem. And that's why I think a lot of people are really upset. So. How bad was the gap between Diablo 3 and ROS units sold? Diablo 3 sold for over 10 million copies, and Reaper of Souls sold for like 2 or 3 million or something like that. It was like 20 to 30% of what Diablo 3 sold for. I really hope, I don't know, it could be changed by now, but just the information they told us at the time, it could be different now. It could be like 5 million copies, but it's not anywhere close to what Diablo 3 sold for. I really hope it isn't microtransactions for like sets and stuff. That would be so dumb. I don't think so. I think that they would probably talk about that a little bit more here if that was the case. I think they pretty much covered the stuff that would be in there. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. If they don't add it to North America and EU, there will be many complaints / hate. So I think they will add it, or they will lose money and players. Yeah, definitely. That's what I'm saying. Like, you can't. It's one thing to put a feature out for the PC and not put it out for the console, but it's another thing to put out a feature out for the PC and only certain people in the PC get it. Like, that's stepping over the line, right? So, like I said, I feel like, to wrap it up, I feel like a lot of this information is very interesting, and I also feel like the information that we were given, is specifically in these articles here, were, you know, presented to us in not a really good way. However, you know, we'll have to see in time. Like I said before, you know, they should have said right here, the following features will not apply to the Americas at this time, or something like that. Something that just says, like, you may get it in the future, instead of just saying, you're definitely not getting it. You know, that's what's pissing people off. You know, because we never know we don't know what's going to happen in the next 2-3 months or next 6 months or so. They may come out with the microtransactions on Asia. It may work. They may like it. They may say it's awesome. They say, okay, we're ready to introduce it to US and ready to introduce it to EU. Then that's really cool, and we'll kind of roll with that, right? So, yeah. So it's just very interesting to see everything about this. I see like the comments like down here and stuff too. The EU people actually seem a lot more upset about it than the North America people. This should come to the US and EU, except for the XP boost. Yeah, XP boost I think is going over the line. This isn't freaking League of Legends. Getting XP in this game makes a big deal. In a game like League of Legends, you get an XP boost. It just gets you to level 30, and then you do ranked gameplay. You're not getting any kind of advantage by buying things in a game like League of Legends, unless you're buying like a character or something, but then you still have to learn that character, and everybody has the ability to get that character for free, right? However, in a game like Diablo 3, if you say, okay, I'm going to buy an experience boost, I'm going to spend $100, get an experience boost like crazy, I'm going to go for Paragon 400 to 900, and it's going to be insane, and everybody else is still 500-600, and you're like 900, well, that's a huge, you know, that's a huge advantage that you got. So, I don't know, like, we don't know exactly what time experience boost means, like 100%, so we can't really make assumptions, but if that is the case, like, that is not a good transaction to have. Like, you can have other XP transactions. You don't have to have this one. You don't. Like the other ones are fine. Cosmetic stuff is fine. Do not cross the line like a lot of game companies do and give us, like, pay-to-win bullshit. Do not do that. So, yeah. Like, it would literally ruin the game. It would literally ruin the game. Also, what are Blizzard doing about microtransactions in Heroes of the Storm and Hearthstone? What do you mean, what are they doing about it? That's like a different topic. I mean, they are doing that, so. Didn't they add a microtransaction potion for XP experience, for XP in the Asia in WoW? Maybe, I don't know. I don't know about the World of Warcraft thing. If it goes pay to win, I will not play this game anymore. Yep. I can't see them doing that, though. I don't know. Maybe it's just like, maybe they're timed experience boost because they're only good from like level 1 to 70, but you can't use them for Paragon levels. That's okay. You know, you can level quicker from 1 to 70. I mean, you can get power leveled anyways, or you can use Gem of Ease and level up really quickly in the game. That's fine anyways. That's just a quicker way of getting from 1 to 70. I completely can stand behind that. That's cool. If you want to do that, go for it. But if it's Paragon levels, that's a shitstorm. No thank you. So, yeah. Yeah, Xander, it's true. That's another thing as well. If we have microtransactions, like for instance, League of Legends is a free game, so having microtransactions does make sense. But we paid for this game to have microtransactions in here, right? I mean, I don't know, but I mean, it's like little cosmetic things. Like for instance, like if you want to get like wings or something like that, like you had to pre-order Reaper of Souls to get the wings, and now you can't pre-order anymore, so you can't get the wings anymore. So to give us options for those people that missed out on getting those wings, or wanted more stash space or something like that, if they needed more funding or something to make some more expansions, I feel like this stuff could have been brought to our attentions a lot better. They could have made a video on Diablo 3. Hell, we just had Tavern Talk. They could have talked about it on Tavern Talk and said, you know what, listen, we want to do a couple more expansions, but we want to have the funding there because, we want to make sure that if we're going to put this time into it, that we do have the revenue to make sure that we can complete it. So it's good and polished for you guys. So we're coming out with microtransactions. It'll first start off in the Asias, and then it'll spread to EU and North America in time. Now with these microtransactions, we will be able to do quite a few more expansions and give you guys new patches every 3 to 4 months. So what do you guys think about that? I mean, and these microtransactions also won't impact the play of the game. They will just be cosmetic. If they literally came out and said that sentence in Tavern Talk, I think a lot of people would feel a lot better about this. They would be like, you know what? I can see that. Okay, cool. Okay, yeah, okay. Go for it. Try it out. We get it. However, to kind of give us this information like this, that's the big problem in my opinion. So, yeah. Yeah, the wings would be nice, yeah. So that'll do it for today, guys. Like I said, I'm going to import this to YouTube. I know it was like a longer video. We're probably about 50 minutes or so for the entire thing. And it's just being imported straight from Twitch, so I'm not able to actually edit and cut parts out and stuff like that. So if you did make it through this entire video, I definitely appreciate it. And I will put the links to all of this stuff down below in the description. Now make sure you like the video if you did enjoy it. Leave your comments below. Let's do a little bit of discussion. You guys tell me what you think about all this information. What do you think about the first look for patch 2.2? What do you think about the microtransactions and excluding North America and EU people? What do you guys think about that kind of stuff? Put it all in the comments down below, and I love going through and reading all the discussions in there. You guys leave these huge paragraphs where we just like talk about all kinds of stuff. But anyways, this was Let's Talk Diablo number 10, and we did this one live, and it was an extra long version of the series that I've been doing. So really cool. I want to thank everybody for taking part in all of these series episodes up until now and all that. So I will be actually ending the stream right now, and I'll post the stream. I'll come back up right after. I'm going to close out the stream, then I'm going to come back up right after. But for those of you watching this on YouTube, my name is Shinobi, and until next time, thanks for watching.